Good morning, Jane Mott MK, and this morning I'm just going through some short bite-size makeup tutorials. I've done my brows already, so hopefully you've watched that and enjoyed it. If you haven't, check it out, it's on my channel. So it's really important, I say really important, I've used foundation primer and put a base on my eyes. I've already got under eye corrector on. This is the Mary Kay eye primer. For many years, I didn't use an eye primer. When I was younger, obviously, my skin, now that I'm in my late 40s, is going a bit crepey. So only just slightly. So I've started using an eye primer, and it does hold your eye makeup in place. It actually makes it smoother and easier to apply. But it also, you'll notice that primers, this one you can see is white. So it actually creates a flawless base for your eye makeup. Your eye colours will come out true to palette if you're using a primer. Sometimes you need to dip into your eyeshadows 3-4 times to get the pigment that it shows in the palette, but with an eye primer, not that you do with Mary Kay makeup. I like the vibrancy of the pigment in Mary Kay, and you do get that in some of other brands as well, but I know a lot of the high street brands you don't get that. But try an eye primer and you'll find it creates a lovely smooth base, flawless for you to put your colours on, and the pigments of your eyeshadows will appear brighter. Now Mary Kay have brought out a new brush set which comes in this lovely little, oh, she says, zipstock zip wallet. It's a black zipped wallet, so you just unzip it, and 5 essential brushes. We've got, these are synthetic, so these are suitable for vegans and vegetarians. Beautiful all over powder brush, so you can use this to apply pressed powder or mineral powder. It's really soft, beautiful. Then we've got this fabulously funky shaped, if I turn it around, can you see, we used to have an angled cheek brush and I loved it, but this one is quite chunky. It's almost, can you see, it's like a wedge shape. Now they've designed it, the angle is great for putting on your cheek colour. The longer edge is for your dark contouring, and the shorter edge makes it easier to put your highlight on. So that's really well thought out. And then the eye brushes that I'm going to use, I love the fact that Mary Kay always have 3, and so you've got a little separator, and then you've got the pocket for 3, and similar to our last set, we've got the all over eyeshadow colour, your big fluffy one, which is for your lightest colours, slightly new shaped eye crease brush, and this is very similar to one of the mini brushes we had at Christmas in one of the mini sets. It was a little spark, and I have to say this has been in my makeup brushes ever since because it was brilliant. And I actually think this is an improvement, because this one was almost as big as the all over, but this has now been improved. It's, can you see, that is more dense than that one. That one's wide and fluffy, so this is going to be even better, I just know it. And then the final brush is the eye smudger, and can you see the bristles are much shorter as we get into the smaller brushes, not so much between these two, but it's shorter and more dense. So this is going to be really great for smudging eyeliner, and just if you want to get some darker colour smudged right into that crease line. But you can see this crease brush, beautiful. You can get right into the crease. You can use it either way. It's perfect. So these are the 3 brushes I'm going to be using today. So first of all, and this is a slightly different approach to what I've done before. As usual, I'm going to go for my first colour. I'm going to go for a colour very similar to my natural skin tone, but I'm going to use the slightly iridescent, but I'm not going to put it over the whole eyelid. When I've used matte before, I've put them over the whole eyelid. Now, you can see I've got quite big big eyes, I suppose. You can see the whole of my eyelid. Even when I look straight in, you can see the whole of the crease. This colour goes on the whole of the lower lid that you can see. So if you've got a hooded eyelid that only lets you see that much, you only put it there. And if you've got your whole lid is hooded and it's only here, you're only putting it there. So I've got quite a lot of lid, so I'm putting it in the middle, because I don't, if I drop it in this corner, I'm going to have a big smudge of powder in that corner. So, and I'm just smoothing that right into the lash line, just on the lower lid, right out to the corner. And I also want a little bit here in the tear duct area. Now, I always do this. I do one eye and then I show you. And can you see how a nude colour on your eyelid really makes that eye so much brighter? And it also now gives you a base to blend. And I'm also going to use my eye smudger to just bring a little bit of that colour underneath. Whichever brush you find works best for you is fine to use. Now I'm going to put a little bit as a highlighter under the brow. But if you've watched my brow video, you'll see that I position to show you where your brow should start, where it should finish, and through the iris to the arch. Iris. So I'm actually applying the highlighter from the top of the arch, just across the arch and down, no lower than the end of the eyebrow. You should never let your eyeshadow. See if I can get that a bit. I'm so pale, you can't see the highlighter on my skin, can you? Right, there we are. Hopefully you can see that, the light reflecting on it. Put a bit more on, hopefully you can see it better on the video. Yes, that's better. Then I'm going to use the eye crease brush. And for this, I'm going to do, I want you to look for your mid-tone. Now your mid-tone, it's best to use a matte colour. And we're going to contour with this because eyeshadow is a bit like contour and highlighter. We're applying shadow, so eyeshadow, light and dark, to the eye to enhance them. So a mid-tone is any of the colours that are about 2 shades darker than the one we've just used. These are the new Chroma Fusion colours. Along here we've got the 4 different eye quads. And we have got, of the 20 colours, 10 are matte. And we've also got some lovely matte shades in our previous palettes. Let me take that out or it's going to fall out. And as you can see, all our compacts are. So as well as the Rose News, Simply Smoky, these are some of the previous colours and that we've had. These 3 are matte. And yeah, this one's matte, this one's matte. And then, as I say, in the Chroma Fusion, you can probably see here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 8, 9, 10. Why did I suddenly get stuck at 7? I know there's 10 matte. Anyway. So I'm going to work with this soft heather actually, and I'm just going to put that. Actually, you might want to start from the outer corner because you don't want to bring the colour outside that line. So if you start from the outer corner and just take it in the crease line. And if you haven't got a crease line, obviously, a lot of people think I'm lucky to have all the different parts of my eyes really well defined, really clear to see. Yes, I am, but at the same time, when you haven't got these things clearly defined, you can put them where you want them. You can create them. And that's the beauty of being a makeup artist, actually. When I come to do ladies with hooded eyes or a single lid, you can actually create their eye crease. And you can create different looks by putting the crease in a different place. So, but obviously mine is so prominent. So can you see how that starts to create the shadow? I'm actually, because mine's so big and I want to make... Oh, I've put... I just put my brush in the wrong colour. And this effect, try it. It suits any eye shape. In fact, if I do that... Oh, sorry, put my hand over the camera. Because mine are also it's quite a deep crease, I'm just taking it up. That's better. We can see the crease now. Then I'm just going to take a little bit under the lash line, and I'm actually using my lower lash to shape. Almost like a cat flick with eyeshadow. And when you're doing your liner as well, the temptation is to do a stripe across here and then try and flick it up. But if you actually follow your lower lash line to create the flick. Now, you've probably noticed that I wear a lot of eyeliner, and part of that is because I've got such a big eyelid. So when I'm doing these simple nude looks, and again, you might find it, well, I find it easy, especially now I'm getting older, my skin, to just stretch it. I have seen another lady do it like that, but I can't do it like that. I like to do it. And I do like liquid liner with a brush, a nice thin brush, and they are getting harder and harder to get hold of. I am finding that more and more liquid eyeliner bottles have sponge tips, and the Mary Kay liquid eyeliner also has a sponge tip. I love the product, but I prefer a brush, and you can see straight away how just that eyeliner puts my eye back into proportion, because I have got a big lid, and even the eye crease I think then even looks better. Then what we want to do is take a lovely fluffy brush that's clean. You do not want to use the brush that's got the darker colour on already, because if you are using the same brush that you use the lighter colour, as I say, I always say you can just, because they're so gentle, you can just gently flick it off, or if you've got a kitchen towel or a clean face cloth, just gently. I don't want you to scrub the brush, that will damage them over time. We are just going to go back in and blend with a clean brush, because if you use the brush with the colour on, it's just going to smudge the lot together, and just round the edge, the outer line. And I'm just going to, I don't want a big bright stripe under my brow, so I'm just going to blend that in with it. I want to keep this bit, the teardrop area, nice and bright. So you want to keep that clean with the lightest colour, and these two have sort of, as I say, I've blended together. And you can see that's just a beautiful, natural, nude eye look. So just to recap, start with a nice bright, I've used shimmery on this occasion, which is different to how I usually do, over the whole of the visible lower eyelid. So if you've got a hooded eyelid, only apply this to the visible. So if yours is only visible to here, only apply to there. If you haven't really got any, still put a little bit around the tear duct area. And under, sorry, my fringe in the way. Oh. Then, using the eye crease one, and again I've used it showing you from the outside in, and I want it right along the whole of the eye crease, and I'm lifting it up quite high so you can see it. You can see the eye crease. And I've got the right colour this time. I'm just doing a little bit on the outer corner. Then, with the clean brush, I'm just going to blend the edges and blend, I don't want a bright stripe under my brow, so just blend that in as well. And a little bit of the colour under the lower lash line. If you need to build it up, I've still got colour on this brush, I haven't dipped it again. Let me look in the mirror rather than on the camera, and then I can see better. And the eyes are sisters, not twins, so do not worry if they're not exact, because mine most certainly aren't. And then let's put these brushes down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Rolling. I'm sat actually in my bedroom window at the windowsill, so the brush just rolled off onto the top of the radiator. But I do that, I always sit here because I get such great natural light. Well, I'm pleased to say that as I'm videoing, that eyeliner went on perfectly first time. It certainly doesn't always. Make it a little bit more like its sister. There we are. And finish with mascara. So I've got brand new Lash Intensity here. Let's, coming out the box. So mascara sits in the tube So you always end up with loads on the brush. So in order to see the bristles and get the best from the brush, you need to take off the excess over the neck of the bottle. Can you see how much comes off? And you can also see how it sits, and can you see as I'm taking it off, the bristles? The brush bristles are revealing themselves. And then I'm going to have to do this with my mirror. Oh, you can spot I dropped it the other day and it's been sellotaped up. So you want to look down into the mirror so that you can see the roots of your lashes, zigzag up through. Now this has long and short. It's like a rectangular shape, so you need to turn the brush. So there's Mary Kay written on the lid, so if you put your thumb over that and lift it and then turn the brush and lift. And hopefully you can see what a difference. Now, I've actually got some mascara on the wet line. So all I do is get a cotton bud that I've licked and just lift that little bit off. And that works equally well if you get a little smudge. And then the other eye. Always draw the outer corner of the lashes out, because that's where you have extension. If you put extensions on, you always enhance the outer corner to lift and open the eye. Wow, that mascara, one coat, and it's just wowzer. False lash effect. And then I like to just go back and just make sure I've got the full length and ends of the lashes and just lift them. Beautiful. Intrude the cow. Maybe not. So, hope you found that quick and easy to apply eyeshadow. Let me know how you get on. Please comment below. Thank you.